Consistency leads to certainty. Consistency leads to certainty. This is an interesting idea. It's late on Saturday night, and there was a choice that I faced. I could be into bed right now. I just made a fire for my son. My son was like, you know what, Dad, it'd be really awesome if we could have a fire. I've got that going. That's going to be ready for when I get back. But I just came down to our shed here. The shed's half built. You can see it in the background. There's a lot of framing, but we're waiting for the plumbing to come. But the choice around whether to even do this live was one that I was faced with. But what is interesting is that when I considered what was at stake, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this done. You see, there is the ability to say, no, not interested. Don't want to do it. Doesn't matter. It's only one night. It's only one day. How much difference could it make? But when we are talking about the consistency of showing up every day, then breaking that sequence, breaking the streak has an effect. Yesterday we discussed this, and unfortunately for me, I did not surf today. But for my son, he did get out there. He said it was epic. It was so good. I made some different choices. I had a call with some business buddies of mine, and I also went to acupuncture, and I got to watch my daughter play soccer. So they were my choices. But it cost me a surf. Now, will I go tomorrow? Well, almost guaranteed. I say almost guaranteed because of one particular difference between today and tomorrow. And that is that I'm paying my coach. My coach is coming up from Yamba. We're surfing at 7 a.m. I'm really looking forward to it. But outside of that requirement to pay, which I will bring to your attention, notice that when I am paying for surf coaching, I'm showing up. And this might be the same in your world. It doesn't always mean it. There's certainly plenty of people who pay for gym memberships or pay for things that they do not use, as if just the paying was enough to get them the results. You see, it's not just the paying, but the paying does tend to ensure that I show up for personal training, show up for surf training, show up even for the acupuncture treatments. It's easier when it's a pleasant experience. I like needles. I like having the acupuncture go in and the way that it releases my body. It's helpful. But for things like the gym, where I know it's going to hurt, and yet on the other side of that pain and suffering, perhaps if I choose it to be suffering, perhaps not. Perhaps I can see it a different way. On the other side of the experience, my body's feeling better. I've got more energy. Ran into one of my friends, and he's looking a little overweight. And at 46, it gets harder to lose weight. You may have seen this in your patients as well, that at 50 and 60 and 70, the weight loss conversation becomes far more difficult. And that may be due to metabolism, but also to a degree there may well have been failed attempts at weight loss. And in the end, they've just accepted what's going on. But what they haven't realized is that just like staying true to doing a live every day, which is why I'm here, weight loss is much the same. That the consistent discipline of eating a particular amount of calories every day is a discipline that must be maintained every day. And the results that I see from my ability to stay disciplined will be in the form that my body is in. And many people might say, hey, it's no big deal. A couple of kilos over. But there is something in the way that I see myself that's important. What was very interesting to me was that I started measuring my waist. And in October 2022, about 7 months ago, I was 107 centimeters. It's like, whoa, how did I get to 107 centimeters? Doesn't really matter how I got there because I did measure it, and that's the first measurement. If I had been tracking it before then, I probably would not have got to 107 centimeters at all. But having then measured that waist, I'm like, you know what? I don't want that. The top of normal for men, I think, is 94 centimeters. I'm like, you know what? Let's make a concerted effort to get down there. And so slowly it came down, 106, 105, 104, 104, 104, 103, 103, 102, 101, 102, 101, 102, 101, 100, 100, 100, and then into 99. And that was an awesome day. And then down to 98, 98, 98, 97, 98, 97, 98, 98, 98, 98. I've been stuck at 98 for a while. Why am I getting that result? Well, I've been inconsistent with my discipline around my eating. And while it hasn't gone up, it also hasn't gone down. And I am some distance from that target of 94 centimeters. Did I exercise today? Yes, I did. Jumped on the exercise bike. Would have preferred to be surfing, but exercise bike had to do. And so what I want you to appreciate is that when you commit to consistency, doing something daily, eventually there is a compounding effect that is higher and more than the actual deposits that go in each day. This is a very interesting aspect of life that doesn't happen when the consistency isn't there. When somebody has a day and then not off, and then a day, off, a day, off, a day, it does not have the same results as someone who goes day. Now, you'll notice that in that is a boredom. It's actually quite boring to do the same thing over and over and over. And what you must appreciate is that even though it seems like you're doing the same thing over and over, those incremental small gains, just like compound interest, will over time lead to significant change. And it's almost imperceptible. A little bit like watching children grow up. If you have kids, you may be aware of this phenomenon that day to day there appears to be no change, and yet 15 years down the track, I'm looking at a 6'1" human being. I'm like, Sammy, how did you get so tall, buddy? Didn't notice it in the moment, but suddenly from birth through to 5, through to 10, through to 15, massive amounts of change have happened. And they didn't happen one day jumping from 4 foot to 6 foot. No, it was all these incremental growth. Small, over time adding up. And that is the power of consistency. That is the power that you are looking for, that will make a difference in your life. The results that you want for your life, whether that's to be a better doctor or more competent at a particular skill set, to make more money, to have a better relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, with your parents, with your siblings. Any of these things can be improved by the daily application of one single superpower, and that is consistency. So perhaps you can look at your life and say, you know what? Where am I not getting the results that I want? And what are those results? And what would be required to be consistently done on a daily basis? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whether it's exercise or meditation or journaling or study, over and over and over. And over time, you will see the results. All right, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go and enjoy this fire that I've set. I hope my middle son Hamish has asked for this. It does make a difference. So I'm going to go and enjoy that. And I hope you also enjoy your evening. Have a think about where do you need to increase the amount of consistency in your life. I look forward to seeing you on another live very soon.